Girl, there are some things to avoid about men that you should know that only a mother could teach her daughter. You see, I was foolish when I was younger, and I had no idea about what type of man I should date. I learned about them the hard way. Life made me go through lots of hard times and beat me down to my knees over and over again until the lessons finally got through. But now I can use my suffering to save you from wasting years of your life over a wrong man. I'm going to give you 5 points to identify these men you should avoid talking with, which I needed when I was a teenager. Number 1, the liar. Honesty should always be your first priority when it comes to dating a guy. It's challenging and emotionally taxing to date someone you can't count on and who isn't honest or forthright with you. When the guy you're dating is a liar, he'll often make promises he can't keep, make up stories that aren't true, and keep you in the dark about who he really is. They are masters of manipulation and can make you believe anything they want to. If you catch them in a lie, they will quickly change the subject or make up another story to cover it up. When a guy freely and willingly deceives you, this is an automatic red flag that he can't be trusted. Especially since trust is at the cornerstone of every happy, fulfilling, and healthy relationship. In order for your connection to flourish, you have to be able to rely on him as your partner. And if you're dating a guy who is prone to lying and making things up, it's time to kick him out of your life. Number 2, the player. Some girls like the vibes of bad guys, but this is the reality. No matter how hot you find them, in the end, you will always end up with the one who values you the most. So why not avoid such men from the beginning? When you actually like a guy and he asked you out for a date, you started to date him and now you want to take this relationship to the next level. However, the guy turned out to be a player and the next stage of the relationship you wanted to take never came. You need to understand this, that some guys who are players, they just want to keep the relationship on a superficial level, which is why they're often vague about their whereabouts, are constantly texting others, and are dismissive of the idea of introducing you to friends and family. If you're looking for a long-term committed relationship, it's important that you drop the player you're with and try to meet someone who's also looking for a deep and meaningful connection. Since there are so many different people and options in the dating pool, it's not uncommon to date someone on and off for an extended period of time. For instance, you may go out on a few dates with a guy and not hear from him again until weeks later. And many times it's a late-night text, in order to avoid being treated as though you're disposable by a guy who only feels like contacting you when he wants to, when he's bored, and when he's looking to hook up. You should find a guy who places a priority on having you in his life. Rather than being just another name that pops up in his phone, you should avoid this type of a guy and find someone with whom you really click. Number 3, who puts no efforts. As we live in a modern world, there's a concept of equality. Whether it's a man or a woman, if they go on a date, both of them should split the bill. Same concept implies when it comes to dating. If one person puts in an effort, it's necessary for the other person to do the same. Do not misunderstand this sentence of mine. I didn't mean that this only implies dating. It should happen in every relation of life. But however, our main focus is on the type of man we should avoid, so with that view, however, if you're the one who always contacts him or has to set up the plans and frequently feels as though you have to do everything to keep your connection afloat, this is time to understand that he is a guy you should avoid. Because as I mentioned, efforts should go both ways, but when you're the only one who's doing all of the giving and getting nothing in return, then that is the moment you should say bye to him and find someone who is willing to make an effort. But dating a man who is emotionally cut off and detached can have its share of challenges. He may never open up to you, share what's on his mind, or be vulnerable around you. And if you're looking for a deep and meaningful relationship, it's in your best interest to avoid an emotionally unavailable man because he'll never fully let you in. For instance, if he keeps you at arm's length and never lets his guard down around you, then your relationship can't truly progress because you'll never get to know the real person he is inside. Number 4, emotionally unavailable guy. It is a dark reality when a girl couldn't share something of hers with her family. She seeks love and attention from the outsider, and that outsider is a man. A girl who looks out for a guy who cares about her, and when she wants to be heard, he's there to listen. However, if you witness a guy who is always busy somewhere, doesn't communicate much, lacks intimacy, and avoids commitment and apologizes for not being there when needed, it's time you get alert that he's a red flag. Because they are emotionally unavailable. Emotionally unavailable men may seem attractive at first, but they will ultimately leave you feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled. They may use words like, "I am not ready for a relationship," or "I just need time to focus on myself," to avoid getting emotionally involved. They may also avoid talking about their feelings or expressing any vulnerability, which can lead to a one-sided relationship. If you think and find yourself constantly seeking a deeper connection with someone who is emotionally unavailable, you need to realize this, that you have to let him go and move on. You deserve someone who is willing to be emotionally present and invest in the relationship. Don't waste your time and energy on someone who doesn't value you or your emotions. Number 5, the controlling guy. There are some toxic masculine mentality men who likes to control girls. They have a mindset that if they ordered a girl and told her who she can talk to or who she cannot talk to, or what she can wear or what she cannot wear, she will like it and will obey him like a servant. But this mindset is pathetic. A guy who tries to control what you wear, who you see, where you go, and what you do, this kind of behavior can lead to physical, emotional, and mental abuse. They will control you and will manipulate you. No matter how bad of a simp you are, a point in life will come where all of this behavior will suffocate you and will make you realize that he has taken away your freedom and independency. Being in a controlling relationship can become dangerous as it leads to physical and emotional abuse. If you notice that the guy has these qualities, the fact which every girl denies, but deep down they agree with, that they will start to notice the red flags of the guys from the beginning, but as they get so blind in love, they ignore all the flaws. But you need to focus on these points rather than ignoring them. If you are dating someone who controls you, no need to be scared of their tactics. Guys who are controlling think that girls are emotionally weak and they use this against them. They will say things which can easily melt girls down, like, "I got addicted to drugs because you decided to leave me," or "I won't be able to live without you," or use your private conversation with him as a threat that it'll leak out. Trust me, the more you'll react, the more they'll take advantage. All you need to do in this situation is stay calm, even if you're not. This will make them believe that you are not afraid of them. So in other words, pay attention to red flags and trust your instincts, and if a guy seems too controlling, avoid him and block him as soon as possible from your life. So girls, if a man has these 5 points, you should avoid talking to him. You need to open your eyes. Every guy in this world is the same, believe me. You don't have to treat them like a god. So this is it for today's video. If you think this video was useful for you, tell us in the comments down below. And if you want to learn, groom, and grow in life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon of our channel. Till then, take care. We'll see you in our next video.